So what's going on with the market up here in the Treasure Valley area? Don't believe the hype. Let's look at the numbers. Next. Hey there, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. And today I want to take a look at what happened in the market in May. We just got the numbers in. We've crunched all the data and it's kind of interesting. And you may get from this something different than what you're hearing from the mainstream people.
The collapse of the planet has begun.
And we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth. But first, if you're thinking that Idaho might be the place that you want to check out, not to even have to move here, but it's on your list of places to check out because it's a whole lot better than where you're living now, maybe, give us a call, text, email. Everybody here on the team, we've made that relocation journey, and we really do look forward to helping you figure out if this is the right place. And if it is, we'd like to be part of getting you home. And if you like this video, please go ahead and like, share, subscribe would be huge. We appreciate that. Let's get right into these numbers. So here we are. I came across this. This is on Facebook. You know, take it for whatever it's worth. But they said it's the most overpriced housing in America. And so it said Boise what came in at number 1. And so it's like, this is the internet. It's a bit dubious. We don't know what the data is. We don't know what the source is. We don't know what the criteria is that they're picking for this. I mean, we could easily say that this list is some of the best places to live in the entire country, regardless of money. And it might be the same thing. I don't know. But so what I mean here is like, so they said that this is Zillow data, because we didn't even get that from this article. But they just said Boise is 73% overvalued. I'm like, well, okay, what does that mean? Sure grabs some headlines, awful clickbaity, right? And that's what so many people on the internet are all about, is just that clickbait stuff.
Stop! Buy! Purchase! Sell!
I'm looking over here. 588 is what the average home is in Boise, according to Zillow, and that's up 21.9% year over year. But then number 4 is up 48%. But then even at a higher dollar amount, Coeur d'Alene, and it's up 40%. Coeur d'Alene's at $675, and it's like, so that's almost 90-something thousand more than Boise, and certainly double the increase since last year. So it's like, how does this list even make sense? This place in Hawaii, 900,000, shouldn't that be number 1? I think that's like the top dollar on here, but maybe it's overvalued. And so what is the value of something? Well, you know, I'm sure you remember this from your economics class. It's just whatever someone's willing to pay for it, right? And that would be the value. So how can something be overvalued if someone's willing to pay that amount? I mean, there's no strong arming going on. The thing that Boise has going for it is that it's so much a better place than many of the places that are, say, in California that I have a lot of experience with. So it's a lot of hype going on, wouldn't you think? And speaking of hype, our home price is about to fail. I thought this is a pretty interesting article here. It's very recent, June 8th. And some of the stuff that this guy talks about, it's a very lengthy article, and I'm certainly not going to go through the whole thing for you, but I would encourage you to check it out. But he's talking about a short history of the housing crash narrative, the hype, the story. And in 2012, what they said was that prices are going to fall and there's going to be a crash. And then he goes into why it didn't happen. 2013, they said, well, mortgage rates are rising and blah, blah, blah. There's going to be a crash. And then there wasn't. 2014, what they said, housing crash would come because purchase application data was down 20% year over year. And it didn't happen. 2015, what they said, it was the start of the silver tsunami. Baby boomers were turning 62. There's going to be a crash. That didn't happen. 2016, manufacturing was in recession. Crash. Didn't happen. 2017, they said that home prices were back to the housing bubble peak prices, and it had to crash. And it didn't. 2018, they said mortgage rates were rising to 5%. It's going to be a crash. There wasn't. What they said in 2019 was the housing crash would come because inventory is up year over year. And it didn't. 2020, COVID-19 hit and there's going to be a housing crash. And there wasn't. 2021, they said that there was a crash and then there wasn't. So we can really get caught up in all the hype that, they say there's going to be a crash. But let's take a look at, and some of it's our fault too. I mean, us in the real estate industry. So here is a little infographic that's put out by Boise Regional Realtors, and this is for Ada County. And if you're just looking at this snapshot, and that's all it is a snapshot, and they're very upfront about that. They're saying that year over year, homes being sold is down. Less demand, one could interpolate, right? And inventory is up 167% year over year. Supply and demand, that means like there's just way too much inventory. We're like on the precipice of a crash. But are we? So the Treasure Valley Dave team, we put together our market summary. We take the data and we look at it in more than just a snapshot. We put some context around it. We put some meat on the bone. And if you'd like a copy of this, we come out with it every month. Just let us know. We'd be glad to email it over to you. We do a little summary about what's going on. We have the top 5 areas for the most houses sold for the last month. This is Ada County. We also do the same thing for Canyon County, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. And so we said a second ago, well, let's just look at this right here. So this is Ada County. The blue lines are the prices for Ada County. And yeah, the prices have been going up month after month. 459, 475, 549, getting all dyslexic on you, sorry, 575, 595, 602. So it does keep going up. This orange line is the national average, and you can see it's been going up as well. There's just a huge difference between Ada County and Canyon County prices. And over here, we are looking at, like this light blue line is the inventory, and it is up pretty much from the month before and from the month before and the month before. So it's like, oh my gosh, the sky's falling. Well, maybe not. Let's look down here at inventory in the orange, and we can see that, yep, inventory has gone up the last few months, but it kind of like seesawed back and forth. So like here's the beginning of 2020, and it just dropped like a rock. And then we got the dead cat bounce, and then it came back down, and now we're kind of earning our way back up there. But if you look at this, it's just about even, if not a little historically low for what we need. I mean, even back in this area, we were low on inventory. So say the experts. So it's like we don't have a whole lot of excess inventory, but we do have more inventory than we did a couple of months ago. But if you're trying to figure out if there's a crash or not, let's take a more historical look, and we can see what's going on. And speaking of that, I thought this was kind of interesting too. Back here in 2006, we had increasing inventory. Obviously, we started at a much higher place, and we had increasing inventory. Came down a little bit, increasing inventory. And guess what? Did prices, did they drop because of the crash or anything like that? Nope, they just kept going right along. Nice and smooth, nice and smooth. So when the experts say, oh, there's going to be excess inventory, the history shows us, it's not me saying it, that we don't necessarily have this big crash. In fact, as far as prices, they inched down and then they inched back up. And it was only back in the last, since like 2019, right in this area, that prices have kind of like taken off. Let's also look down here at the numbers sold. So this would be our demand, right? And that's the blue line. And you can see that, yep, we did go up last month, just this little piece right here. But then we were up in this area, just a few months ago. And you can almost see that we have these seasonal changes in the amount of houses that are sold. We have more in the summer, and we have dips in the winter time. And it's like even during the whole, I don't know, all the way back to 2006, we see that same seasonality play on what's going on as far as the number sold or the demand. And sure, COVID kind of messed things up a little bit, but you can see it's like we're just right where we're supposed to be as far as demand. So it's like demand falling, rising a little tiny bit. Without perspective, you might think the sky is falling, but it's really not. I did want to point this out too. This is the first time I've seen that we've gone over $1 million in an area. This was Eagle, and the median price is over $1 million there. Doesn't mean you have to spend that much to live in Ada County. Kuna down here has 489, but keep that in mind. Let's go to the next one over here. Canyon County, the same thing here. The Boise Regional Realtors, they say that demand's down 4.2% year over year. Snapshot, right? Inventory is way up. Snapshot, 140%. Should have a crash around the corner, right? Well, Canyon County, no, we don't have that crash going on. This is interesting. The median price in Canyon County came down $16,000. Oh, is that a crash? Does that look like a crash? Look how pretty steady that is. It goes up. Maybe that's a little aberration right there, and then it came back down. So that doesn't look like a crash to me. Is that a crash to you? It's a pretty lame crash if that's a crash. Maybe it's a correction. And then again, the orange is the national average. So look, the national average is 421,633, and we're just a little tiny bit over that at 459,995. But you can still get houses well under the national average here in Canyon County. It's been true for a long time that Canyon County, you do get more bang for your buck when it does come to housing. And existing homes, 425 was the median price. So it's like, yeah, we're really competitive with the national average. I'm sure you could go into some backwater town in, I don't know, Alabama or Michigan or someplace where you could get a house for $20,000, and then you could, rant and rave all day. The house prices in Boise are too expensive. Move outside of Boise a little bit, come across the valley, Nampa, Caldwell, and you're going to get some pretty decent prices comparatively. And let's look at this historical thing going on over here. Prices, you can see that they have been going up, and now it's down a little bit. So it's not crashing at all. The prices come down a little, but like I say, maybe that's just a correction. I think it's a great thing. And also we are seeing that builders are giving incentives, and not so much that they're lowering prices, but they are giving so many thousands of dollars towards your closing costs, which can include buying down your interest rate. So let me ask you this. If you're getting a loan and the builder gives you $10,000 off the sales price from say $400 to $390, is that really going to change your monthly payment a whole lot? Probably not that much, right? But if they could take that $10,000 and help you buy down your interest rate, that's really going to have a substantial effect on your monthly payment. So that's something that we're seeing many builders do right now, and might be something that you want to take advantage of. All right, so while we're here, Canyon County, let's also look at the sold. That's the blue line, and you can see that we still have the seasonality all the way back to 2006. So whatever we're doing, and we're right here in this range of homes sold, it's like it's not anything to get panicked about. I guess that's what I'm saying. So let me talk about this for just a moment. I saw this. This is from a local lender. And speaking of interest rates, she said, let's see, our interest rates in the sixes? Yes. Are home prices going down? No. Well, we did see them come down a little bit, but I get her point, right? Are appreciation rates going down? Appreciation rates. Oh, well, she says, yes, remember historical average is 4%, not 15%. Well, I mean, values are still inching up, But yes, 4% was, historical average. What we've seen in the last couple of years has been just craziness. So if the house price goes up 4% a year, that's normal. It's not like a crash. Anyway, our mortgage payments rising? Yes. Is the average rent going up? Yes, that's true too. Am I stuck with this interest rate forever? And that's a great point too. Is like, let's say you buy a house and you get a particular interest rate. That doesn't mean that if rates fall down, maybe elections change things. Certainly the last one did, am I right? Then maybe interest rates will come down. You can refinance. Maybe you'll have that equity and put a little cash in your pocket, lower your rate. Bob's your uncle. Or maybe you just, I don't know, who knows? But the thing is, you're not stuck with that interest rate forever. On the other hand, you can get into it, and then if, say, you get a 5%, and then interest rates go up to 10%, and you've got 5, you're sitting actually pretty darn good. So maybe you're kind of happy with that interest rate. Maybe so. And then she also says, should you buy a home now? And the answer is, well, if you need to buy a home, this would be a great time to do it because interest rates are going to continue to go up. I've seen that in several different places. They have been going up quite a bit recently. Rent's going to continue going up, and your payment, you can lock that in, and it's not going to go up. Your principal and interest will not go up. Your rent payment is going to go up. So if you need to buy a house, this would be a time to do it. Actually, if you need to buy a house at any time, that's the time to do it. But at this point, yeah, it's like things could start going worse. And if they do, maybe you do want to be in a house in Idaho because Idaho might be a little bit better of a place to live. I mean, if the stuff hits the fan, I'd personally rather be in Idaho. And if you'd like to know more about that, if you think Idaho might be someplace that you need to check out more about, give us a call, text, email. Everybody here on the team, we've been through the relocation process, and we'd be thrilled to answer your questions. And like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And well, gosh, we've been through a lot today. Thanks for sticking around. Until next time, this is Treasure Valley Dave. Looking forward to helping you get home.